guys. We're gonna be stepping away from massive sports a little bit, and we're going here to professional sports. A lot of things going around right now. We got the Super Bowl, Olympics coming up, Winter Olympics 2026. We're gonna start off on the topic with that. NHL. Some big names left off the list on both teams. Questionable decisions. Parker, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm not happy, As a true Blackhawks fan, I think Connor Bedard shouldn't be on that Canada roster no matter what. Who cares if he was hurt for a couple, I think he's a great player. I hear people talk about, oh, yeah, Sidney Crosby and McDavid, you can't split those two guys up. Sidney Crosby, he's getting old, man. I know he's a great hockey player, and he's a great leader for Team Canada to have, but he should be a fourth-line guy, third-line guy. He should not be on the first line with McDavid when you can have Connor Bedard, a guy who literally is tied in points with Patrick Kane at this time in his career just before his injury. A great player, great hands, great shot. Should be on that team, and I'm not happy about it.
I see where you're coming from with that. I will say he was one of the ones I was less, concerned about. Great player, but also, you gotta know he's coming off a shoulder injury.
Yeah,
had been out for a little bit, and totally agree with you. Should have made the team, but another big one off Team Canada, Morgan Geekie. Him and Nathan MacKinnon were on a goal race for the first, I think maybe quarter of the NHL season. It was Morgan Geekie's got the most goals in the NHL. Nathan MacKinnon does, and Nathan MacKinnon, first line guy on Team Canada, first or second line, I think. It's insane to me. He's already reached 30 goals so far in his career. I don't even know if we're halfway done with the season yet.
I don't think so.
He's a gifted goal scorer. It's crazy to me how for, a month and a half, he was at the top of the list for goals in the NHL, and he didn't even, sniff the roster on Team Canada. So that's just one of them. You got any other ones, that?
Yeah, there's a few more. They got that Roberts kid from Dallas.
Jason Robertson?
Yeah, he's a great skater. I seen him play. Pretty good. I think that he should be on the team. And, I'm starting to think maybe they should do this like a little bit different of an approach, from the leaders. I feel like it shouldn't be as much of like it's almost like the same thing with the Ryder Cup. They're picking these guys that are historically good at hockey and historically good at sports, but it shouldn't just be a biased thing. I think it should be stat wise. You got guys who are top goal scorers, top point leaders, big hitters, low penalty minute team playing guys that are gonna go in, score goals, work hard, get the puck, and those guys aren't on the team. I think that's aggravating.
I read this. I think I read this thing on an article at ESPN somewhere. Robertson was top of the list in American forwards in I think points in the NHL so far this year. I think he was top 5 at least, and
he was in first for a little bit too.
Yeah. So it's just something that you think to yourself, man, how did this guy not make the team? You know what I mean? Another big topic going on in the sports world right now. We'll talk about Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, first ballot Hall of Famers came out. Bill Belichick was not on the list.
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised. See,
I'm not.
When you have the most Super Bowls as a coach, obviously the New England Patriots dynasty was something, nobody will ever forget. I know, he didn't have the greatest attitude, and maybe not a lot of people liked him, but you really got to respect, the game, the culture that Bill Belichick had and built around that New England Patriots team. And I don't know, I think it was a little absurd to me that he didn't get that first ballot Hall of Fame. And I guess it makes it when he, does get into the Hall of Fame, makes his speech even better. Kind of, takes it up a notch with intensity. And I don't know, I just think it's a little crazy to me.
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from, but Bill Belichick, his prime, he had Tom Brady on his team. Without Tom Brady, is Bill Belichick really who Bill Belichick is? Let's be real. What is he doing now?
This is a whole
He's coaching North Carolina, dating a 26-year-old girl, reading her bedtime stories every day. I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame. What's he done in his career after the Patriots? Coached college football for a team that didn't even have a sniff at the playoffs.
That's NCAA. And
a good coach should be able to coach anything.
I
think
this is a conversation for a different day. We'll
I
move
don't
on
know.
to the next topic. We will move on to the next topic here.
Hold on, let's just go back to the hockey thing with the Olympics. I'm also seeing stuff circulating around Instagram right now with this arena they're building in Italy. I guess the Italians don't know how to build because this arena not even close to underway. They don't even have a scoreboard. And the Olympics start in, I think, less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's insanity. I mean, really, it's pretty crazy. We can stay on topic to NHL. you know, all the new. I think they're expanding the game great this year. With the series they're playing in Tampa Bay, it's Boston versus Tampa Bay. In Tampa Bay, they're doing an outdoor game. I've seen the pictures of the rink, and I just think it's sick how they're doing. The Winter Classic this year.
I didn't love it.
You didn't love it. You weren't a fan.
No, I don't like the warm weather Winter Classic. I would have liked it somewhere up north where it's that true vibe. Like, I think it was last year at MetLife, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, freezing up in the rafters. This
Yeah.
year in Florida, guys wearing shorts and a t-shirt to watch this game inside. Wasn't even outside.
I think it expands the game great though. Like you don't hear of many. You hear of a lot of hockey fans up north, not as much. Down in the warmer areas of the world. So I think just bringing hockey to different areas of the world, I think it's really cool. Honestly,
Yeah, I
think
hear
it's
you.
cool.
I hear you.
Another thing you want to talk about, Super Bowl this year. What are your predictions and how the NFL season's gone?
I think that the Patriots are gonna lose this one. I feel like their kind of pathway sort of to the Super Bowl wasn't. I know everyone's saying this. It's not. They had an easy schedule. It wasn't easy necessarily, but I feel like there were other teams that had a harder way to get there than the Patriots did.
Yeah.
Drake May also leading them all the way. Then they play. Bo Nix is just hurt. What's with that, huh?
I think, saying Bo Nix is hurt, the reason why they won that game. I think it's absurd. Jared Stidham, he's been in this league for a while. I know the New England Patriots drafted him. Spent some time behind Tom Brady there. You can't just say he's a bad backup quarterback. You don't sign, backup quarterbacks. You don't have them as your backup just because they're like. You got to have a reason. You know what I mean? I mean, all the Broncos fans, they believed in Jared Stidham. Stiddy, they called him as a nickname. They believed in him, and he looked great in the first few minutes, first half, honestly. And then I don't know where it went from there, but I really don't think he's the reason, you can blame him for the loss of that game. It was crazy weather. Patriots defense played great. I think the Broncos defense played great as well. And their offense didn't look too terrible either. I will say, you talked about how the Patriots went path to the Super Bowl. They might not have had the toughest strength and schedule, but they played 3 top 5 defenses in the playoffs and beat all 3 teams. True. So, okay, go ahead. You're gonna say
I hear you hear how they made it. They made it to the Super Bowl. Like, it's hard to make it to the Super Bowl. I just don't see them coming out with the ring on their finger here.
Yeah. I think people find new ways to hate on the Patriots every single week. I think, 1 week it's, Texans defense, they're going to destroy you guys, follow you up. What happened, man? Patriots went out, beat the Texans. Oh, you guys are going to win this game just because, Bo Nix is out. Who cares, man? Like, NFL is the NFL. You got guys who are good enough to play in that league versus guys who are good enough to play in that league. It's a clash of 2 great teams. Better team comes out on top. It's not like the Patriots, they haven't had the hardest schedule this year, but that doesn't mean anything. Look at them. They're in the Super Bowl here now. And I think, we've seen them do some crazy stuff this year. I think they could keep the train going, honestly. I think they'll keep it going, Yeah. Guys, then I'll take
That'll be it for today, guys.
We didn't talk about too much, just, some of our opinions on stuff. We'll be back, coming out next week with another episode. We appreciate all the support we've been getting so far, from all the fellow Massac students and family members who've been watching. Keep expecting us to give some episodes and entertain, and that's it. That'll be all.
And
Thanks.
we'd love it if you guys would, tell your grandmother something. Grandpa, grandma, friend, uncle, aunt. Doesn't have to live in Monroe. Doesn't have to be part of the Massac community. You just want some more love and support on the show, and it would be great for you guys to spread the word.
Yeah, thanks.